What's going on, guys? In this one, I'm going to get right to the point here. I want to show you guys a new tracker that I fully built out. I'm typically using a lot of like Google Sheets and things like that, but I like to have like kind of like a visual of the data. But what this allows you to do is understand your entire business, see what's working, see what's not working, versus like a Google Sheet, right? Google Sheet can kind of get you by to a certain extent, but you want to start seeing the objections you guys are coming up with. You want to see where your people are coming from, specifically, not just like the specific ad. Maybe you have, you're a content creator or whatever it may be. You do a lot of like DM outreach. You do a lot of YouTube videos. You want to see where your traffic's actually coming from. That's what this video is going to be. So I'm going to show you the tracker that I built out here from start to finish, and then I'll kind of walk you guys through how you can also get this yourself. Okay, so first things first here. This is my tracker for the back channel rev scaling. Essentially, you have a couple of things up here. Now, different businesses, if you have a low ticket, you want to know your churn rate, you want to know different things versus like a high ticket. So it doesn't matter what you guys specifically are looking for. I'm just going to show you somewhat of a basic, and then we can kind of go from there. If you guys want like different custom dashboards, obviously you can reach out to me, we can go from there. But essentially here, this is your main sales overview dashboard. Okay, on this you're going to see things like your calls booked, your show up rate, your live calls. So out of the calls booked, how many actually showed up, your sales, cash collected, your average order value. If you have a type form, I always recommend like a Calendly and type form combo. It just works the best. It actually brings down the cost per book call for like all the offers that I'm working with and the guys that I'm working with. So I always recommend the Calendly and the type form combo. That being said, what you also do here is you can see all your payments that can come through. You can see your fees. If you have a Stripe, WAP, fan basis, whatever it may be, you can see all your fees. That way, maybe at the end of the month, you can see what you spent and so on. Now your customers, any recent transactions will all be here. I obviously have their emails blurred out, but you'll see the date, their name, their email, the total of what they spent, and so on. And from here, you can have all your call data. So every single live call you've had can all be here. The campaign, so essentially, again, because I just made this after the fact that the calls were done, what we are able to do from here is see exactly where they came from. So if you have an IG DM, if you have a DM setter and they send links through there, we can see how many times people click on the link, and we can see how many times people actually booked a call from that link. We can see the show rate of those links. We can see absolutely everything. If you have in your bio, we can see how many people are clicking on your bio. If you have a specific video on YouTube, we can see how many calls that specific video is generating, the cash collected, everything, the show rate, because we are tracking these things a lot deeper than the average, right? So with this tracker, it's going to be able to pinpoint exactly where your traffic is coming from, and from that, you can continue to do what's working. Okay. Next, we have what we call a calls dashboard. So on this is going to tell you everything but your calls. So you'll have your calls booked, your live calls, your cancel calls, your no-show rate, your no-shows in total. You can have the quality, so how many quality people are coming in versus non-quality. You can have the sources, so where a little bit more than what I'm showing you here. The call source breakdown, so the specific calls that you guys have. You can see the calls booked, the show rate. We're also able to do is see the specific source. So like I mentioned, when we're tracking UTMs, you're able to see, okay, they came from this link. This link is in my type form. This link is on my Instagram, right? This link is in the DMs. Only a setter can send it. So you're able to see where the majority of your business and where your calls booked are coming from, right? So the whole point of this tracker is to let you guys see exactly what's working. Again, I keep repeating myself, but that is the whole main purpose of this. A lot of people, and the problem with it is a lot of people try to track stuff, but they do it on a very basic surface level, which doesn't allow you to actually understand what's going on in your business, what's working and what's not working. So that's what this dashboard is able to do. Not only track it, but give you a visual, right? So you can see here, cancel calls, what this little bar is at the bottom is the goals. So if you guys have a 74% show rate, well, let's say your goal is 85%. It's going to tell you how close you are to achieving that specific goal, right? You can do the same thing for cash collected. You do the same thing for calls booked, right? So calls booked in the month, you want to book 30. Well, let's say you booked 85, right? You're 283% over your live calls, right? 20 and you got 71. So you guys can see the importance of this. Not only does it help your sales team, the marketing, right? Because we can do this for absolutely every single aspect of the business, but also you as a business owner can see and look at this super, super easily and understand exactly what's going on and what's what's going wrong, right? So that's the importance of this. Now, another cool thing is the source. So I can track exactly which calls, right? So for example, you have a type form Calendly setup, like a stack, what you're able to do is when you're disqualifying people, maybe you send them to a different calendar, a different call funnel, right? We're able to track exactly where those people are coming from by clicking source, see concrete demo call, concrete application, sales call, one-on-ones, and so on and so forth, right? So every single step along the way, we're able to track the specific things and it gets into detail. That way, for example, let's go source. We can do this one only, right? And it'll tell me everything about this call, right? This specific calendar. What is the show rate? What is the live calls? What's the cancel calls? It tells us everything. That way we're able to see exactly what's working and what's not working. So the next thing we're able to see here is the trends. So over a long period of time, you want to see what the trends are. When did you have a slump in your show rate? When was there a slump in your cash collected? When was there a slump in your book calls? That way you're able to look back and say, okay, what did we do here that was super good? And what did we do here that was super wrong? That had us go from this show rate and just decreased. And with that, you're able to look back at the data. And again, as a business owner, make the right decisions for your business, right? So every single partner that I go in and partner with, this is the first thing we implement, right? Yes, we go look at their numbers and look at whatever they got, but the first thing we implement is the tracking system and this dashboard here, because it allows us to get so much more data. And with that data, you can make the right decisions, right? So it's not like you're making any blind decisions anymore. Everything that we see here, it allows us to make the smart decision for the business, okay? So for example, if your cash collected, let's say for the week you want to make 100,000, whatever your goal might be, right? It'll tell you your cash collected, how much you have, the percentage you are from achieving that, your common objections. So this is a super cool one, especially if you're a sales team or you have a sales manager. You're able to see what exactly your sales reps are screwing up on. Why are they not selling? Okay. Well, we've been getting in a fear objection way too often. Okay, let's stop honing in on the money objection. We've clearly overcome that. Let's now go in on the fear objection, right? What's causing fear? Are we not explaining something? Is it the value? Like, what exactly is it, right? And you're able to go in there as the sales manager or even the business owner and talk to your sales team. You have, and I'll show you obviously in the closers tab here, get a little bit more in detail, but you're able to see these types of things, okay? Your show up rate, if you have different offers, so your cash collected comparison, if you have different offers, right? Maybe you have a low ticket, you have a mid ticket, and you have a high ticket, you can see where the majority of your cash collected is coming from at a certain time, right? Obviously on every single dashboard, it has the date. So you can change the dates. The source, again, you can see all the concrete, for me, it's the concrete demo call, the sales call, and concrete application. And again, it's only for that week. So if you change it to a different week, and let's say maybe over time you change your names, you change the call, the calendars, whatever it may be, it will only track whatever you have selected within that time frame. Okay, so let's say for example, source, maybe concrete demo call didn't exist from July 2nd to July 8th, right? So it won't show that unless you have it selected, right? It's a cool feature. You're able to do all these different types of things to see exactly what's working. Now, if you are a person who makes a lot of content, you have a lot of YouTube content, you're not sure where the people are coming from, this is what you can do. So with the YouTube, we're able to see exactly what's happening with your YouTube channel, see your viewer count. I'll go through it obviously. So your new subscribers, your videos liked, your views, your total watch time, your average view percentage, your videos shared, subscribers versus non-subscribers watch time, and people are viewers. So how many people were subscribers that viewed your channel? How many people were not subscribers, right? Your views over time, you can see all that data here. A really cool feature is what we're able to do here is also track where your calls are being booked from. So when you have links in your bio and stuff like that, we're able to see exactly where they're coming from. That way you say, okay, I made this video, it got this many shares. Maybe this one got a lot of traffic, but it didn't really convert. Versus another one who had a little less videos, less views, less video likes, but for whatever reason, it had a lot more book calls. And from that, you're also able to see the show rate. Okay, so you're able to see a bunch of different data aspects. That way, again, as a business owner, you can start making content that's going to push the right sort of customers to you, right? Should be making more videos regarding to this? Should do this, do that. Let's say one video is making a lot of, maybe two videos, for example, have a lot of book calls. Which one has the best cash collected? Which one's bringing the best types of people? And then from there, you can kind of make similar and related content, right? So that's the importance of this. Now, next thing here, and I find super, super cool, especially for the sales team. If you guys are doing a lot of DM outreach, if you have a lot of inbound, you're able to track absolutely everything. So from here, we have a form. You might have an EOD for your clients, or sorry, for your team. After the day, they fill out a certain form. Obviously, again, anyone that I work with, I come in and implement all this stuff because it's just super, super easy. I already know what works, what doesn't work. And from that, we're able to scale your offer. Okay. So the back channel rev scaling, essentially what we track, for example, the date, whatever day it was, your setter, the warm leads that came through, the quality of warm leads, the warm leads that are booked. Okay. Maybe you have a cold side, so a cold outreach side. So maybe cold looms, cold DMs, the positive responses, the booking links that you sent out to those people, and then the calls that were booked. Okay, your follow up. So if you have any sort of follow up, for example, the date, how many times after 24 hours people were followed up with, how many times after 48 hours people were followed up with, how many times after 5 days. So obviously this can be super, super personalized to you guys, whatever your follow up or outreach is right now. You can obviously customize that. Now, for example, back to the source here, you're able to pick different setters. So if you have a different appointment setter, one's for cold outreach, one's for warm outreach, inbound leads, outbound, whatever it may be, or even a dialer, you're able to do is come in here and select that person. Then you can see the results for that specific person. Or you can do is you can select the entire team and you can see the results for the entire team. But with this, you're able to see who's performing, who's not performing. And from that, you can go in and say, okay, what is this person doing specifically? Why are they getting better results? And you can tell your team to look at those types of things, right? So as a business owner, you're able to dive deeper into the information and the data that's provided and make the right decisions. So on the closer dashboard here, essentially we have everything in terms of what the closer is doing, who's performing, who's not performing, why aren't they performing, their cash collected, their close rate, their AOV, their closed deals, absolutely everything. Notes they've taken on the call recording, so you can easily click on the link as a business owner and watch the call recording if you need to, or your sales manager. This tells you everything. Okay. Now, again, the importance of this is you can see everything for specific closer, or you can see the entire team, right? Now, we'll break it down here. Call outcomes. So the date of the call, the closer who took the call, the lead's name, obviously blurred it out. Did they close them? So is it closed, lost, follow up? You have another book call, it's a follow up. The cash collected, the revenue that was generated that day, and then maybe it was just a deposit, right? So they didn't close the deal, but they got a deposit. You can see all this here on the specific date. And as time goes on, this can obviously all be updated. Now, aside from that is the call notes. So very, very easily, this can be, in a sense, like the central house for all your information as a business owner. So you have to go from tab to tab, see different things, line it up, like where's this, where's that. It's all held in one spot. So again, the call notes, the date of the call, the closer, the lead, the notes for the call, right? And the call recording. So you can actually click on this link here and it'll direct you back to the Fathom or the Firefly, whatever you guys use, and you can use it. Another cool thing, again, like I mentioned, because you can do this over time, you can pick the exact date. You can have it from one month to the next. You can see the results. You can go from next month to the next month, and you can kind of compare the two and say, okay, well, in this month you collected this much cash, this, that, but you notice, maybe you have a fear objection that came up a lot more often, and from that, that's probably why your sales decreased, right? And nothing was ever fixed, but you can only track this type of data when you have a system like this. You have a tracking system that allows you to look back at your data and see where the hell you guys went wrong, right? But the cool thing, again, like I mentioned, the closer metrics. So you have the cash collected, their closed deals, their AOV, their close rate. So if you change the date, everything's going to change here. Again, it's super, super precise on the specific people. It gets down to specific objections. And not only do we have a tracker for just objections they're getting, we have a tracker for the objections they're overcoming as well, right? Again, everything can be fully personalized to the business and what you guys want to see. Okay, so if you want to see certain things like type form submissions, um, it can be honestly anything, any sort of data that can be tracked. We can use it here and implement it into the dashboard. That way, you guys are able to take a step back and actually look at like what's working, what's not working. So yeah, this is the dashboard. Obviously, you have your closers, your setters, your YouTube, your trends, your calls dashboard, your sales overview dashboard. Again, there's many different things that we can implement here. Like for example, the Facebook ads. It's obviously not finished. That's why I didn't show you guys that. But for the specific example, the typical things that people need is the closer setters, YouTube trends, and stuff like that. So we're in the works of building out the Facebook ads right now for this specific dashboard, but you can do absolutely anything. Like I mentioned, low ticket, mid ticket, high ticket. You can see where your money is coming from, what has the best show rate, what has the best conversion rate, your type form submissions. It could be anything, any form submissions you have. Everything can be implemented and added in here. That way you guys have an actual visual representation of the data. So that being said, if you guys want to implement this for your business, just either comment down below or even shoot me. I'll put my links and stuff in the description there, and you can click on that. But outside of this actual tracker, again, we help people that are content creators, people who are business owners looking to move more into the coaching side. What we do is we come in, we work one-on-one. We only work with a select few, so about 4 to 5 people per quarter. Because again, it's not like a coaching or agency program where essentially it's mass volume. You come in and we can work with you and 15 others. That's not how it works. We come in, we take a rev share, and essentially scale up your offer. So if you have an agency right now that's working really, really well, you want to teach people how to do what you do, that's when, in a sense, we come into play. So we implement all the back end stuff. We help you with the implementing sales reps, setters, tracking stuff like this. And from that, we're able to scale your offer. Okay, so that being said, guys, see you in the next one.